So I was kind of thinking how I feel, like, with friends and stuff like that, or people that could be friends, and, like, I was thinking about, being kind of addicted to lots of things, and, even someone that chats a lot, or talks a lot, or needs that attention, or needs that stimulation. And I couldn't help thinking of, like, if you have a friend that's an addict, right? And we had this. I did have a friend. I still have a friend, I guess. But she had a sister, who was an addict, and she used to just kind of suck the life away from you and all of her family. And it's sad to see when that happens, because the family doesn't want to be around that person anymore, because they come in and they start feeling like they're leeching, or they'll start stealing, or they'll start just invading your space, or coming into your house when you're not there, and doing shady things to get the high, right? This totally happened with this girl, and they end up being homeless too, a lot of them, and we used to have them all the time as a nurse. I feel like that's not very different from my life in a way. I mean, just because I'm not addicted to an illicit drug, being having that addictive personality and having that in conversations and in relationships, I feel like I am kind of that leech, that comes into the house, steals things because I'm trying to get my fill or my fix. And even though it's not heroin, it's the same kind of fix, It's a mental fix. I'm trying to get a fix with the chemistry going on in my brain, So when I go and get in conversations with people at work, I feel like I'm come off as annoying, instead of beneficial, like, sure, like, I make people laugh and stuff, but I can't help but feel like, I can't keep that high up, and I can't keep getting that stimulation and getting those laughs from those people, and, I feel like it can be a little much. It's actually a little much for me even, and I have to leave and come back, steal a little more, right? Just a total human leech on all humankind. I'm not stealing money to get drugs, though. I'm stealing attention. I'm stealing your time. I'm stealing the conversation. I'm attempting to hijack whatever it is you're talking about so that I can get my 2 words in, to get my high, or that laugh, or that's whatever that stimulation is, And conversations are terrible with someone with ADHD. I mean, you're like, we weren't talking about that, and it's like we're having a conversation with ourselves already in our brain, and then we'll skip to another thing, and then we come back to the thing we talked about 5 minutes ago to finish that conversation. And it's super annoying. It's terrible. I try to catch myself when I'm having these conversations with people to try to prevent this kind of disruption. And I don't have any boundaries. It's terrible. I don't. My ex even calls me out. I've walked into her house, and I know it's not my house anymore. It never was. But, like, I've got the kids, and I walk in, and she's not there, and I just kind of stand in the doorway and wait for her. But there are boundaries. We need to wait outside. And even if I had perfectly justifiable reason for doing it, and, like, say it's cold outside, like, it's still boundaries. Boundaries don't really exist for us in conversations at all. Oh, you guys are in the middle of conversation, well, guess what? Here's my 2 cents. And I'm going to butt in and not wait, because I'm not patient, and if it's on my mind right now, I have to say it right now. I have to get it out right now. Otherwise, I will forget it or get distracted and move on, and I don't want to lose this moment. I don't want to lose this little, I don't know, drug, I guess. It's kind of a drug. The shot of, I don't know, adrenaline or whatever you get from it, whatever we get from it. I don't know what parts of the brain it activates, but whenever I get that 2 cents in, I feel like maybe it's gratification, instant gratification. Kind of like a video game, where ADHD people like get that gratification, or on a phone, and you just keep getting that high. And then, of course, the problem is you do that too much, and you get pushed away by people. They don't like being around you. This is especially a problem if you don't know how to control yourself when you're a young kid. When you're a young ADHD kid, you don't have any friends. Nobody wants to be your friend because of this problem. And I didn't have any friends for the longest time because of this. I just couldn't control how much I talked, or how much I needed to talk, or how much I needed people to respond to my talking, and respond positively. And I never looked at the positive things, I always looked at the negative things. And so, what a vicious cycle. Like, I'm telling you, like, people that don't believe in this, it affects your whole life. Like, it affects your whole day. All of your conversations. ADHD is ever present, always. If it's not always on your mind, it's in everything that you do. There's just no way to get around it. Get away from it. And when you find people pushing you away, like, you're just upset, and you don't know what to do, you don't know what's wrong with you. You don't know what your dysfunction is, but you know something is wrong. Or like you're me, and you get depressed, and you don't know why, or maybe you can explain why, but you can't stop it. It just keeps going deeper and deeper. And then if you want to reach out and go find a friend, you'll just fail at it. You'll just be the drug addict that's going to find that friend. So you put yourself in your own personal destructive rehab in isolation as an addict, so that you're not harming anyone anymore. And, you don't get that drug anymore, and guess what happens? You spiral into depression and anxiety, and every part of your brain that you don't want to be in, that you've prevented your whole life from getting to, that you've made yourself distracted your whole life so that you don't go to that place, because there's no way out for you. You never let silence happen because it's scary. It takes you to that place that you know you can't get out of. But like any addict, that drug, those same amounts only fill so much, right? You have to up your dose, and you get to the point that you overdose. And then, when you get to that point, you're in my position, where you've overdosed on everything. You've overdosed on life, and nothing's good anymore. You can't feel it anymore. You can't feel anything anymore. No shot of adrenaline, no stimulant, nothing. Alcohol doesn't do it anymore either. Nothing. And all you have at the end of the day is nothing. And that's when you think of things that you shouldn't be thinking of. Things that will destroy you completely, because there's nothing else left for you except that. And it's a terrible place to be. And that's where I feel like I'm at. And I'm trying to talk my way out of it. I don't know if it's going to work or not.